Welcome Twitch. If you're on TikTok, you're only able to see part of the screen. You can search my TikTok username, John Vanderveer, all one word. Take that, search it in YouTube or Twitch, and you can find my channels over there. Same username, and you'll be able to view the whole screen. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. This is part 3 in a series of setting up a store, a merchandise store, and the store's done now. So this part 3, I will be walking through the products I created, how I created them, although if you've seen the prior streams, you are going to know most of that. So you're going to know technically how I created those items from the prior stream. Here, I'll touch on a little bit of design stuff because there's some new products that are designed now that were not designed previously. With one really, really exciting one in particular that I built with artificial intelligence. So stick around for that. So we're going to go through quickly all of this stuff, and then that will, and then I will take the Shopify link and add it to my portfolio. So that's going to be the second thing we do in the stream. Then I might take a break and do a separate and restart the stream, or I might do it all in one. And that is coding a third thing, which is pretty unrelated, which is Blitz. The Economy, the investing app. So I did this a few streams ago. I started it. We had some problems where the alpha version of Blitz had a bug on Windows, and good news is it should be fixed now. In theory, we'll test that out. But according to their alpha subversion 57, the issue that I was working on, they specifically added a fix for that. Cool. So that's a summary of what we plan to do today. So let's dive in. So let's look at the store specifically. The URL, codinglife-store.myshopify.com. There's going to be a lot of these things that are somewhat out of the box that could certainly be enhanced in an ideal store. This is not an ideal store. The idea here was get something up quickly. I was able to do this in under 8 hours of work. And so one example would be the domain. This is a Shopify provided domain. I have my own domains. You know, we have Laterally.io is probably the one that I would use. So you can do like laterally.io/shop or shop.laterally.io. That would be like a premium domain, and that would be something that would be a little bit nicer. But you can visit this URL now and actually buy merchandise. Let me move my head on the video screen slightly up. Cool, so you can see the picture there better. So one thing I've touched on in the past, but I'll revisit, is what is the purpose of this brand? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And the idea is, you see I'm wearing a hat right now, and this is Entrada. Like, I'm advertising for someone. And I've always got a coffee cup or a hat or a shirt, whether I'm on stream or I'm walking around in public. And that's spreading a message, and that's inspiring a conversation around something. And I would like to be able to use that real estate and use that energy to further the brand of bringing people into tech, laterally synergy with this concept. So instead of advertising for someone else, I'm advertising for me. And then you, if you're a programmer, you can do the same. So this could be an identity statement for you. I code and caffeinate is like an identity statement, right? I code and lift. This is like an identity statement. So this could be a hat that you wear at the gym. There's this meme on TikTok, which is like, there are too many nerds in the gym. And so that's one of those things where I want to say, like, yeah, absolutely. I'm one of those nerds and I'm here in this gym. So that's like an identity statement. It could kick off a conversation. There could be someone else at the gym who codes and lifts. I've run into this. I wore a Dragon Ball Z shirt, and you get some people at the gym, they're like, hey, that's cool. And you just have something in common immediately, right? So you can kick off a conversation, let people know we out here. That's for these identity pieces, which could inspire a conversation, but it's a little more low-key. And you also have the Code and Lift shirt, laterally.io on the back. So this one is kind of in the middle. So you have these low-key pieces, then you have these really in-your-face pieces that are literally saying, ask me how. And they are really trying to drive conversation intentionally, right? And then the Code and Lift shirt is kind of in the middle where it's, hey, I code and lift, the front's identity, and then on the back, if someone is like watching you and they want to check it out, they might not want to actually have a convo, but they might want to learn more about this, then they can go to laterally.io. They want to join the team, as it were. there are people like this, right? Like they hear about coding sounds cool, the lifestyle of like working out and coding, and just like having a good lifestyle is attractive, but they don't want to like walk up to a stranger and ask about it. That's like too much. So they can just peep the website or the hashtag. And so this, and then there's the Laterally.io hat. Most of the pieces are black with white text for high contrast and readability because the design is focused on getting the message out, right? One exception would be this blue and red hat because someone on my live stream asked for a blue hat. And if my audience asks for something, I'm going to try and get it to them. Dylan, what's up? How's it going? So basically what I've just been through, the idea behind the brand is summed up right here up top. Coding life inspires conversations. That's the whole point of this merchandise. Conversations specifically around learning to code. So when I'm rocking this hat, I bet you could code #ChangeMyMind. What I'm literally saying, hey, please reach out to me if you're interested in coding, right? It's the same thing I say all the time anyway. I'm speaking as myself, John here. Like I put out TikToks, I talk to people in conversation. I'm always telling people, if you want to code, let me know. Now I have a way that I can, just like another way that I can say that message and I don't even have to say it. It's like, tell me without telling me, right? Cool. Yeah, and then there are links to Laterally right here and the TikTok where we use #CodingLife. So the one, I guess there's two pieces that I haven't really talked about. One is the coffee cup. If you're like me and you do a lot of Zoom meetings as part of work, so like with the hat, you're walking around in public, Code and Lift, walking around at the gym, it's very obvious like the forum where people are going to see this message. With a coffee cup, you might be thinking, dude, it's just a coffee cup sitting in your house. Like, how's that going to inspire a conversation? TLDR Zoom meetings, right? So that's not going to be effective for everyone, but for me it is. Like I'm always rocking a coffee cup if I'm streaming, if I'm on a Zoom meeting. And this is also the cheapest item. So this is a really like, I guess the budget-friendly way to rock the message, right? Now let's talk about one of my favorite pieces, which is at the opposite end of the price spectrum. This is the most expensive piece. The design is really loud. I think the design is really fun. And on the back, it says Laterally.io, #LearnToCode. Again, trying to drive people to actually take action, to actually visit a website, either ask me a question with the Ask Me How cap, like do something, right? Or visit the website here in the case of Laterally. Visit the website if you're interested in learning to code. So we're spreading messages, we're driving action, we're inviting conversation, we're inspiring conversation. So it says that on the back, that's common with all the pieces, but this is really interesting for a really unique reason. I built this using artificial intelligence. The art you see here, the coffee cup, the trippy coffee cup, this is a programmer. Bro, do you make good money with coding? Yeah, absolutely. So I don't really like to talk about how much I make because I make way more than most people, even most programmers. But I would say that the starting salary in the United States for a programmer as a junior, the starting salary is 75 grand. And you can quite easily get more than that. As a senior, you're going to be making 6 digits and you can get to senior level within a few years. And then me, I'm like well over 300. I'm actually over 350,000 total compensation. How do you start with coding? I'm so glad you asked. You can visit this shop. You can visit Laterally.io is what I really recommend. So if you're on TikTok, you can see the link in my bio. But it's Laterally.io. Laterally.io. Good question. Thanks for the question. And this is an open source curriculum, by the way. So what is Laterally.io? I talk about this on my channel all the time. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you'll see me live coding all the time. You can always ask questions. So this is the admin view. Let me log out. This is not quite how it looks for y'all. So this is how it looks for y'all, right? You go to laterally.io, it will forward you to Teachable. Currently it's on Teachable. Might not use Teachable forever, but for today we do. And then right up top, you can just click the Join Now button. If you're already a programmer, there are also information about how to accelerate from junior to mid to senior. There's two options. There's the standard course, which is free. It's not just free, it's open source. So the Teachable will kind of guide you through the links basically, but if you want to go look at the curriculum yourself, here it's open source. Now, there's more to Laterally than the curriculum. There's also like a Discord and like a social community. There's like streaming, like I stream sometimes. So that sort of information is in the Teachable. It's not in the curriculum. The curriculum is very much like, you know, learn HTML, learn CSS, learn JavaScript, learn React. So this is basically what I recommend. There are a couple other options. I mean, there's actually a bunch of other options. And another one is Codecademy. Codecademy is really good. I personally recommend the Pro front-end engineer path. And then, of course, you can go to college. It's going to take longer. It's going to cost more money. But some people, that pace is correct because some people are slower learners. Ironically, we think about the CS degree being, you know, for the smart kids, and then Codecademy is like self-teaching is kind of for the dumber kids. But it's quite the other way around, actually. If you can learn quicker, then the return on investment is much higher to self-teaching. Really, the structured curriculum and slow pace of college is really better for people who are slightly slower learners and lack a bit of discipline. Maybe you're in the middle, you can use a boot camp. In the middle being, you can learn quickly, so you're not a slow learner, you're a quick learner, but you do need the structure and you do need external guidance. Check out a boot camp. So you go over to coursereport.com, you will sort by most reviewed, and you will look for a boot camp with a rating of 4.25 or better and a minimum of 400 reviews. Lowagon is like the best in the world. They're not available in the United States. My favorite in the United States currently is Career Foundry. They have a job placement guarantee, which puts them, in my opinion, head and shoulders above other options like Springboard and New Camp. Also, the reality is that you never stop learning. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Thanks for the follows. So shout out some follows. We got Yoshidak. I don't think these are really names. I think these are like usernames. Yeah, actually, these are not really pronounceable. Emerald Love, thanks for the follow. There's one I can say. Do you have to be good in math for coding? Absolutely not. Not at all. You might need to be pretty good in math to get into a computer science degree program, but to actually program, you really don't use much math at all. Okay. So yeah, let's finish up with this AI shirt. So I designed this using a DALL-E Mini. DALL-E Mini. So you on the stream, you're going to get to know the secrets of how I did this. Whoa. So DALL-E Mini is available on huggingface.co. Huggingface.co has lots of machine learning models that you can use for free. What is your favorite in America? Career Foundry. That's what I was just showing. CareerFoundry.com. Over 600 likes. Awesome. A reminder, if you're on TikTok, you're only going to be able to see part of the screen. If you visit YouTube or Twitch, you can see the whole screen. And shout out to the Twitch viewer we already have. DALL-E right here by crayon.com. Okay, so you find huggingface.co. Can you use it on here on Hugging Face? Yeah, it used to be right here, but now it literally forwards you over to crayon.com. It's the same thing. It's the DALL-E model. So you type whatever prompt you want in here, and then it will generate art. So I input various prompts into here, and I will show you the specific prompts I did. Y'all are getting the inside scoop here. Let's get 1K. Let's go. Appreciate it. Okay, so this is in the, where did I put it? Did I put it in Futurecaster, I think, maybe? Oh, Windows is lacking. Here, let's see. You can see it says up to 2 minutes for this machine learning model to take your text input and translate that into art. Cool, yeah, so it's the Futurecaster folder. We'll look at that in 1 minute. But you can see it comes up with all these food pictures. And this is not like a search. This is not like an internet search. These are originally generated images. So to come up with the Coding Life t-shirt that is available on my website, it's 40 bucks. And how I came up with that is I searched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ran 6 prompts. I gave the AI model 6 different prompts. Then I picked the images from it that I liked. Oh, wow. Zoom in. Cool, thanks. I picked the images from it that I liked. So I did not like all 9 in every case, right? Like, if we look at this, the search here was chibi programmer. Chibi is an art style. It's kind of cartoonish, basically. So I picked 1, 2, 3, 4. I kept 4 of these 9. So if you buy the shirt, I believe you'll see the top left, the middle, the bottom center, and the bottom right. So this is what I mean by I worked with AI. What I mean is I came up with the prompts, the AI generated the images, I reviewed the images, picked the ones that I liked. So laterally, right? Ladder. I searched laterally, and this is what the AI came up with. I only kept 1 of these.
Hey, Sam woke up saying his tummy hurt too. I checked the expiration on those turkey, cheese, and cookie snacks we got him. March 3rd, 2022.
Wow. You might want to let Target know.
Yeah, I will.
Our Target, we went to Target, and they've been selling a lot of expired food, which is kind of crazy. So apparently my kids ate expired food, so they were throwing up. Okay, anyway, I only kept the top, middle, ladder. I didn't want like ladders all over the shirt, but I wanted 1. So, and same with the matrix. So code from the matrix. It was really cool. The AI knew exactly what I meant when I said code from the matrix. And I picked the center because I thought it had more pop. It's got more vibrancy if you look at the color tones on it. And so I wanted 1 of those, but I didn't want like all 9. So, and then this was really interesting. Let me show you this. I searched the text hashtag coding life in a cool font. And this is what the computer came up with. So I kept the middle one. But none of these are English, which was mind-boggling to me. The computer created fonts, and it did not choose English. It like literally created its own. It created its own language and alphabets, which is super crazy. Kevin says, it's interesting how AI is going to revolutionize iteration in creative disciplines. Totally agree. Cool. And then the last prompt was a prompt for neon laptop and headphones. And I kept 2 of these. So the middle, which I think is really clearly a laptop and headphones. And then I forget what the other one I kept was. It might be the bottom left. But some of these, the AI was really creative. Like, look at the bottom right, which I did not keep. There's a picture of headphones on the monitor. And then in the top right, there are headphones in lieu of a keyboard. And so it literally kind of like merged these things. In the top left, it kind of seems like it's merging the monitor and headphones. Like there's the headphone band touches the top of the monitor. So some really interesting things that the AI picked. But I wanted the one that was going to be like kind of clear, so I picked the middle. Then what I did is I did two things. I actually did three things. So first, I picked the pieces that I liked, and I created this image. And there's the coffee cups. The other one was Trippy Coffee Cup. That was the other prompt, and I kept a few of those. And then I went over to Pixlr, which is a image editing website, and I added 6 of my own squares of various phrases and hashtags. In the bottom right is my favorite one. This is a little Easter egg. HTML is the best programming language, which is obviously a joke that I thought was pretty funny. So I snuck that onto the shirt. It shows up in exactly one place. And I used a bunch of different fonts. And so the idea here is to have like a crazy fun aesthetic. This image, you might be able to tell, I also used the Pixlr image editor to make it pop a little more, so I altered the color levels slightly. So this is an example of like me working with the AI. So the AI created these images, then I took them, mixed them, merged them, and altered them basically in my own way. The last thing I did is, or last two things I did. One is I created a super mangled masonry image. So masonry is a design where you can see it probably in the top right best. So in the top right, you notice the cells, the image cells are not lined up like they were previously, right? So here it's all lined up the way the AI gave it to me. They're all lined up. Here it's a masonry pattern, which is you take those columns and you offset them slightly. So I did offset by 1/3 for each. And then I mixed them. So I didn't want all of the text together. I didn't want all the coffee cups together, all of the programmers together. So I mixed them around, and I got this masonry aesthetic. Okay. Then this is the last thing I did. I took the masonry aesthetic and I layered it on top of itself to create even more noise. And I put in some special effects over specific regions. So in the center left, there's a large region you will notice that has a phased image. So like the words "learn to code," instead of appearing once black, it appears blue, pink, and yellow. So they're phased, kind of split. This is just to create even more variety in the image. In the sort of middle bottom far right, there's a section where there's a mosaic effect. And in the right at the top, there's a single cell that has pixelation applied intentionally. And then you'll also notice that a couple of these layers are at angles. So there's a large one in the back that's normal. There's a second one that's turned slightly one direction, and then there's a third one that's turned the opposite direction. So I took this and I made this as the material for the shirt. So I made one version and then another version that has white spaces in it. Those white spaces are where I can put the text. So laterally.io, hashtag learn to code is high contrast, highly readable. Okay, so that is the walkthrough of what I did with the shirt. Now, one other thing that I did, before I made it masonry, when I just got the items that I like with the text that I like, I also sent this file to a designer on Fiverr, and that designer is currently in the process of creating their design for a bomber jacket. So for the store, let's just return to the store. Oh, did I close the link? Okay, so for the store, yeah, so that's the story on this shirt. You can see how it ended up. I'm really happy with it. And on the right sleeve is where it says HTML is the best programming language. So these are the products for the store. We've walked through them all. When the designer gets done, if I like their designs, and hopefully I will, there will be a bomber jacket that's also available. And it's going to have some of these same elements, but I think the aesthetic is not going to be as loud or chaotic. I think the designer is going to do things slightly differently, but we'll see. Okay, so that sums up the items themselves. I went through the kind of like the idea there in the top, and then yeah, this is just reiterating the mission, all about helping anyone land a job in tech, advancing careers in tech, fostering positive energy among fellow nerds. Nerds with a Z, we aren't some stiffs wearing suits. And yeah, fun fact, Shopify, you can use text emojis. So that is the store. So now let's do some coding. So I want to add this to my portfolio. Where's my portfolio? The portfolio is also, you guessed it, open source. Basic Next.js portfolio. And that is a template that anyone can use. Mine specifically is at this link. Here's the basic Next.js portfolio. Really simple, similar to, what is it, Linktree. And these are the items currently there. So what I would like to do is add the Shopify store right here. Cool. So this is basic Next.js portfolio. I'm in VS Code. Let's get my terminal to the correct location. Cool, CD basic Next.js portfolio. Let's just make sure I am up to date with the latest. Check what branch I'm on. I am on main. Let's pull. Already up to date. Okay, great. So let's look at the pages. Here's the index file, my portfolio, and GitHub is right up top. So let's add one more. I'll put this even before the GitHub. So this will be the Coding Life store. Participate in a brand. I don't know. I'm bad at wording stuff like this. Yeah, experience a brand. Experience a merch brand. I don't want to say merch brand, just experience a brand. Experience a brand. Okay, spin this up locally. I think that will be all that's needed to do. Oh, change the href, of course. So href would be the destination link. We want to use coding-life-store.myshopify.com. And this is next, so I think I can just next start, or I might need to npm run dev. Missing dev, npm start. Cool. Things are just being a bit slow. It says compiled successfully. Yep, there we go. So here's the Coding Life Store. Experience a brand meant to inspire conversations around learning code. Click it, opens up in a new tab, good to go. Let's see. One thing that I don't like is that Coding Life Store is not really part of my portfolio. So I'm really using this more as like a Linktree tool now instead of a portfolio. So I wonder if I should create a second view. But I can do that offline, which is like truly a Linktree instead of a portfolio. And what do I have a whole thing for LinkedIn here? LinkedIn should just be a social icon, right? Maybe we should do that right now. So if I did social, it would be, yeah, it's really a different concern at that point. It would be LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's like, do I really want someone who's reviewing my resume and they're reviewing my portfolio of code? Do I want to send them to my TikTok? I'm not sure about that. Are you posting a GitHub repo so we can see what you did if we didn't watch from the beginning? I also want to learn how to build a photo portfolio. Good question. So here is the portfolio template that we were just looking at, the Linktree-like portfolio. So that's open source. But the store is not open source, and it can't be, right? So financial information, all that stuff, those have to be secrets. So for those, that's a store, it's not a portfolio, and it's not meant to be done like a portfolio. I would send you to the prior episodes. So see my YouTube channel. And after the stream, I'll make a playlist out of it. So it'll have all three in one playlist. And that is basically using Shopify, which is, it's not a portfolio, right? So I think I will do some work after the stream is over that changes the basic Next.js portfolio to have, like, to be usable. Yeah, let's create this. Allow repurpose for, can we integrate with Stripe instead of Shopify? Not the way that I've done it. Like in theory, you can build a store like that, but the way that I've done it very much uses Shopify specifically as what we call the storefront. That is the place where the user is actually clicking to add things to their cart and stuff. You could have a different website that uses Stripe, but That would be doing it very differently. This is going to be allow repurposing for non-portfolio use. Specifically, one, we want to have social icons for Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. Anything else? Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. I feel like that's fine for now. The second thing would be allow in-app navigation. Yeah, this would just be another page. So this would be a different page. This is not something I really need to implement. So implement my instance of the portfolio separately and have a second page on mine, which is /portfolio. The default view would no longer be a portfolio on mine, but instead could link to Shopify Store and other services offered, plus contact me, probably through Twitter. Cool. All right, so given this, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it, and then that'll wrap up the stream, and then I'll do a separate stream later for the Blitz stuff. But I think in this case, it's a really good idea to go ahead and split out the basic Next.js portfolio. So view the live site here. So given that, I am not going to edit this, because this is basically a portfolio right now, right? So let's keep it that way. So we'll create a new repository, basic Next.js portfolio. Here is a new repository. This will be not Linktree, not John's Linktree. A link collection tool that I use instead of Linktree. An open source link collection tool. It's not just link collection, is it? It's kind of like a social influencer landing page. Thank you so much for all your help. You're very welcome. An open source link list tool. An open source link list tool. That works. So template. So we'll pick the basic Next.js portfolio template. Include all branches. That's not necessary. Public create. And you see what it's going to do. It's going to create a copy of that template. So the code at the end of the day, the code here is just like what we were dealing with, except now when I change it, I won't be changing the portfolio. I won't be changing this. I'll be changing just mine. And I think that's a lot better. So I will stop the server that is running the basic Next.js portfolio. I'll do a new terminal. So we can clone a new repository, git clone. We'll clone not John's link tree. Cool, so we cloned it. Now let's add it to VS Code, right click, add folder to workspace. Not John's link tree. This code that we did over here, we'll basically just copy it. Copy that. And then another issue that I want to create on the basic Next.js portfolio, let's create one more issue, is make link item reusable. Really, we just need to pass in the URL in the heading. I guess it really doesn't save us much is the reason I didn't do that, huh? Because in theory, you might want to change the body down here. You would want the same heading. Yeah, so never mind that. It doesn't buy us much. Cool. So I've copied this, and now I'll just undo it. So there should be no active changes in the Blitz Next.js portfolio repository. That's true. Now we will go over to not John's link tree. Index page over there. Looks the same, right? And paste it. Ooh, things are very, very mad. Did I do something wrong? Cannot find the CSS module. Styles home CSS. Well, it's right here. Okay, so I think the issue is that this project has never been built this way. So we will go not John's link tree, npm run build. Next is not recognized because it's not installed. So I have a package lock file, not a yarn lock file, so I'll just npm I. This is great. With this new not link tree alternative, I can do more that I've been wanting to do. One thing is like a Calendly link so that people can just like immediately book consults with me that may not be related to Laterally. Multi-guest, what is that? Guest request. Sure. How's it going, Create Code? Canceled or something? Okay. Well, if you change your mind. So now that we did npm I, we'll try npm run build. Cool, so now it's no longer complaining about next head. It's no longer complaining about those tops. I might need to just close VS Code and open it again to get it to stop complaining about this. See if I can just close the file and open it again. That would be easier. Nope, very much mad. Okay, so implicitly has an any type, and the idea is like that. Should be kind of fine because the next page type is returning an any. I just started and forked a bunch of repos. Awesome. Glad to see that. One thing is that I'm using the return keyword, so maybe that indirection is throwing it off. Let's try it like this. So we arrow directly at instead of saying return. So I don't know why it's saying it's implicitly any, because it's actually explicitly any. Yeah, so the last two things that I will try, one is starting the server. I don't think this is going to work. The second thing will be trying to close VS Code and open it again. VS Code caches a bunch of stuff, so sometimes that happens where before I installed, the definition of next page, for example, would have been unavailable. So then I installed it, so then it should be available. Let's see. Yeah, if I control click, it's right here. We're in node modules. But if it got cached as an error, then it would just get stuck there. Okay, so it says compiled successfully. So let's go check out localhost once again. So it worked just fine. VS Code is still complaining even though it's working fine. JSX element implicitly has type any. So I will stop the server, close VS Code, give that a few seconds, and then we'll reopen it. I'll, in the meantime, check this. Could be like a new version of Next or something. Even though I've installed a reference, yeah. Solve this issue by reloading VS Code. Yeah. Okay, so they're indicating basically what I was thinking might be the case, that it's a sort of a caching issue. So in theory, once everything reloads and is stable, you see in the bottom left, it says initializing JSTS features. In theory, once that's stable, we will not see those red squiggles anymore. There's an update available to VS Code as well. Cool, yeah, I think we're good to go. I also don't see the new one, right? All right, so experience my passion for open source. Okay, so I think I need to just recreate. Recreate that anchor element that we had removed. Undo, redo, Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control Y. Those are wiped. When you close VS Code and open it again, it refreshes memory, so it doesn't know the history of the document changes anymore. Okay, so we wanted to do this right up top. Actually, let's do this. We'll add a whole new pages. So the new pages is portfolio.tsx. And here I'll just copy all this stuff over. So this still is basically the portfolio. I'll remove LinkedIn. Is GitHub considered socials? That's interesting, right? Because I want my GitHub to be called out for the portfolio, but it's also kind of a social. I'll do it in both places. Yeah. The blog can go at the very end because I think it's kind of the least impressive thing. It's also here, it's also like the least, it's kind of weird to call it part of my portfolio because it's a WordPress site. So like a lot of it is not stuff that I wrote, but I did write a little bit of it. Kind of feel like the blog probably goes on this first page. Yeah. So I leave the blog on the template because for other people, I encourage them all to basically make a blog project. So I will remove this. Cool. And so here, I will comment my LinkedIn. We're going to have a social thing. I'll put my blog. Yeah, there's my blog. We'll leave the blog. So let's make a social component. That's the other reason I never made a reusable list entry component is because I don't have a components folder. So definitely was keeping it simple was the philosophy previously. So we'll add a components folder. Just made a file, didn't I? Oops. Let's make a components folder. So just made a components folder, and now we're going to do a new file, and this will be socials, social. Let's call it socials. Socials.tsx. I think capital letter, isn't that right? No, lowercase. No, capital, title case. Okay. In other projects, yeah, for React we do title case. Okay, so this is my socials component. And by default, we'll just have it be nothing, just a hello socials. Export const, okay, and then the index will import socials from components socials. Cool. And we will do this on both pages. This will go above the link, above the links. And this will be on both pages, the index page and the portfolio page. Cool. Cool. So there's socials. Did I add it over here? No, let's add it over there. Right under where it says a portfolio. Navigate my terminal to not John's Linktree, npm start. The other thing that I want to do is my main page should be able to click to my portfolio, and my portfolio should be able to come back. So first I don't want the portfolio to be the first thing. The first thing I want to say, it's like when we think about design, where do we want to route users? The first places that I want to go are like store, Laterally, book a consult, and then even before the blog, we will do portfolio. And here the href will be just /portfolio, a relative link, right? Immerse yourself in my wondrous works of code. Immerse yourself. Did I spell immerse correctly? How hilarious would that be if I misspelled immerse? Cool. Okay, so this will take you, and then let's add the Shopify over here. This is Coding Life Store. And what did we say here? We said experience a brand, something about inspiring conversations, dedicated to let me see, what's the copy I have over here? Inspire conversations around learning to code. Committed to, I guess. Dedicated to, I like that. Do I still have the tab up? If I didn't refresh it, it'll still say. Yeah, I already refreshed it. That's fine. Allow repurposing for non-portfolio use. Close the issue, so that's done. Make it mobile friendly. Meh. I think it kind of already is mobile friendly, but I don't care that much. There might, I haven't really looked at it, so we'll see if there's still an issue. We'll leave it open. Okay, so this is still localhost. Experience a brand dedicated to inspiring conversations around learning to code. I feel like it's more. I feel like it's more words than we used last time, but I don't care. I guess maybe I'll rewatch the video, and if I'm like, this is awful, then I'll know what I said. Go back in time. We don't want target to be blank here, so this will be target self. Cool. So that, now we're on, right? We have like 2 pages now. Coding Life Store. Well, that was dumb because that's not what the store should do. Yeah, okay. That's how I trick myself. So this should say, so the portfolio targets self. The Coding Life Store targets blank, but let's go get that Shopify link. Here's the Shopify link. Okay, I want the second thing to be laterally. Okay, so the second thing is laterally. And what do we want to say about laterally? Interested in learning to code or advancing or accelerating career advancement or accelerating. Interested in learning to code or accelerating your career advancement in tech. Check out, check this out. I'll say check out. Check out laterally. I think that's a little better. Okay, so we click this, opens the store in a new tab, works. Click this, opens laterally in a new tab, it works. Okay? Click this, we're in the same site. Okay, I can click the back button. And then this opens the blog. Yeah. Cool. I think this is good. So now what I want to do, it shouldn't say a portfolio. I'll say my social home. My, yeah. A collection of links. Collection of links related to John Vanderveer. Socials and services. Swag, contact, swag, get swag. Swag, socials, and contact links. John Vanderveer, swag, socials, and contact links. Cool. I think this is good. So then on the portfolio page, I want something that's low key. So it says John Vanderveer, a portfolio. I also want to have the socials here. I'll just do a thin one. So we'll make another style. There's no heading here. It'll just say back to social home. I don't like that it says back because maybe maybe they didn't come from the social home. So maybe just this social home. Morning, John. Little Goosebot. How's it going, Little Goosebot? So that's kind of big. Let's see if we can reduce this. Yeah. So the padding, probably do it by half, right? Finishing up an app I've been working on. Very cool. Link it in the chat if you want to. Let's see. What if it's less wide? This looks stupid, right? This looks terrible. I don't like this. Okay, so we will not do this. I will just do without the card style. Porting Swift app to cross-platform so I can have both Android and iOS. Awesome. So it opens in a new tab. href is slash, in this case, target is self. Do not use HTML to navigate to slash. Use link from link next instead. Okay, that's fine with me. Take it, this is for the portfolio. Kind of. I'm reusing my portfolio template to have it function also as a social home, which is a link tree alternative, basically. Pass href is missing. Pass href. String is not assignable. All right, let's check this out. What is it talking about? Pass href. Literally, okay. Literally just include the attribute pass href. Cool. All right, so social home, we click this and it takes us home. That's what we want, portfolio. So it looks, I think it works. I think it looks kind of dumb. So let's think about how it looks. Here it says John Vanderveer's social home, swag, socials, and contact links. I don't like that. So I can call this my social home, but I don't like it, that text being there, which is a little confusing, right? How will anyone know? Oh, because the title of the site. My social home. So the title, I'll call it John Vanderveer's social home. Cool, that works well enough. John Vanderveer's social home, swag, socials, and contact links. Let's do merch instead of swag. Those are kind of the same, right? Whatever, we'll leave it. Cool, so I think this works. We need to fix the social piece, but other than that, we're good. Click to the portfolio. And here, I actually want to include a link to this portfolio. Portfolio. Basic Next.js portfolio. See if that's too many words. I'd like to give it to 2, well, learn to code there, that's 3 lines also. I guess it depends on the width of the screen, huh? No, it really doesn't. Oh, and that's why I said mobile friendly, because it gets crushed like that. An open source software development curriculum inclusive of job search prep. Hashtag learn to code. An open source programming software development. So we can say an open source programming. And now we got it to 2 lines. Love that. This, how can we get it to 2 lines? Steal this site, build your own portfolio. Oh no, TikTok died. Oh well, that's fine. What was my phone doing? It's like overheating or something. Okay. We want this to be 2 lines. Steal the site. Build your own portfolio. Build your own portfolio. See 3 items. 3 items in the list is the reason it's too long. I'll say or link collection site. And then, yeah, build your own portfolio or link collection site. Steal the site. Build your own portfolio. Use this open source Next.js. Yeah, I guess we can drop the word Next.js. And I have open source and open source differently, so let's make that consistent. Cool. 2 lines. Steal the site. Build your own portfolio or other link collection site with this open source template. Bam. Opens a new tab. Here it is. Great. This looks good. Experience my passion for open source. Okay. So this looks good. I simply want social home to look better. Yeah, so I don't actually want all my socials here on this one, because this would be like the professional portfolio. So hello socials can be gone from here. This is the portfolio page. And then social home, we can take that out of the grid. Maybe it's something I don't necessarily want to advertise. Maybe I just do a hyperlink on the title. Yeah. I think that's kind of weird. I think contact me is the most professional, would be the most professional thing. Contact information in social media. I think that is professional enough, but also does what I want. I don't like that the font style is different than this A portfolio. Yeah, that's like too big, right? And then that's too small. All right, we'll let it be like this. Maybe, should I underline it? I'll underline it. That works. Strange that when I used EM, the cursor pointer went away. Okay. Contact information in social media. It's not underlined. I need to refresh. Text decoration. Oh, it's underline, not underlined. Okay. Okay, so this looks pretty good. See, that's so big. think that looks okay. I can roll with that. I can roll with that. Okay. So the home module CSS, we'll take the 1.5 rim and make it 1.25. Then here, the margin, we'll make it 0. And the font size will be 1.25 rem. So we go over here, here we are, swag, and then this should also be 1.25 now. Yep, cool. So we can go to the portfolio, we go back to the contact information and social media. So let's commit all this, and then the last thing to do will be the social links. So this is the feed, home and 2 portfolio page, and update homepage. Okay. Commit that and push. Instead of my portfolio, I want it to say John Vanderveer portfolio. Get rid of this socials stuff. Cool. Now we only have to work on the socials component. So here's the socials component. We can cut the LinkedIn line item. Put that over here. Just as a comment. Mainly I need to remember my href. So we could use a component library just for the icons, and it kind of might be worth it. Let's see. So Material UI is one of my go-tos, and the other would be Font Awesome. It looks like they have them, right? They have a bunch of these. All right, so let's check these out. Here's Material. We can search for GitHub. So we got GitHub, awesome. Do we have Twitter? Got Twitter. LinkedIn. So those are like the big, and do we have TikTok? No TikTok, ooh. All right, so material could work, although it doesn't have a TikTok. Here we got TikTok. We have GitHub, TikTok. Oh, and Insta. Insta could be useful down the road. Oh, and YouTube, right? Okay, let's use this one. As much as I love material, just so they have Insta. Well, they do have Insta, and they have YouTube. So they do have YouTube. So it's really just TikTok that they don't have. Oh, so close. What about, here's React Social Icons, React Social Icons. What is this, font awesome? Do y'all have TikTok? Or Tik? Yeah. So we're not going to use font awesome. This is super easy. Look at that social icon. You just pass the URL. Gotta love it. By default, pass the URL and the icon will be detected. That's nifty. Oh, and they got Discord. So that puts it over the map. That's a cool feature. That's a killer feature. I don't know why they're trending sideways with a feature like that. Okay, so let's grab this one. NPMI, React Social Icons. Maybe it just doesn't work. Maybe that's the reason. NPMI, React Social Icons. I want to check my package lock, see the version for React Social Icons, and I want to really I want to freeze the version because this is like a low volume package. So I could see it getting, basically I could see it getting hijacked. So I don't want to do that. Okay. Cool. So kind of just make a list of these. Yeah, you literally just take social icon from React Social Icons. Love that. Let's use a UL. And this will be an LI. Right, so we killed the server to run the install. So let's restart the server. I'm going to go ahead and stage all this stuff, although we're going to make more changes to the socials page. It's got a big old Twitter. If I click it, we're going to open same tab. I would like to open other tab. So it's got this. Oh. Let me just naively target. Let me just naively do it and see if that works. Target blank. It does, it does. Love that. So where's the documentation coming from? Cool. So we got Twitter. Let's change it over to my Twitter. Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. We need TikTok. To GitHub. GitHub and Insta. Do they have Twitch? Whew. Discord. Yeah, they got Twitch.
You say night-night?
Night-night.
You want to give him a kissy?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We love you, Daddy.
What's that first little dot there? Oh, that's just because it's an LI, right? I really failed to make them all LIs as intended. Cool. Now I just want them to have list style none. Let's do a CSS file for this CSS rule instead of repeating. So this will do a components, do a socials CSS. It should be .module, right? Socials.module.css. Import styles from /socials. Socials.module.css. Well, that's goofy. I don't know why I failed to detect it for some reason, but okay. Styles. And then what do I want over here? I want socials list or social list wrapper. And then we will do social list wrapper li. This is going to be list style none. And this will be display flex. Social list wrapper, I don't know if I can name it like that, so we'll see. This will be class name is the result of the evaluation of styles social list wrapper. Let's see if that works. Seems to have worked. We want to take off the indent. So that'd be margin 0. No, I do want the margin. I want the padding 0. Yep. So padding 0. And then I kind of want to shrink these bad boys a little. So we'll just alter the height. 1 rem. Oh no, that didn't work at all. What if we alter the height of the list item? Okay. So I have to specifically style this guy. I think 2 rem is good, 2 or 2.5. See if I can come down here and height 2 rem. It's not specific enough. Okay, so I can do a styled social icon. List style none, display flex, that worked. We want to do padding 0. And then over here, social icon, we need to do const styled social icon is a social icon with a height of 2 rem. The hard-coded style. Cool, so now we do styled social icon in lieu of social icon. Satisfied the types. And cool, it fixed the height on them all. There we go. Now we got some smaller ones. Let's do a bit of margin. Oops. I could actually manipulate the parent style instead. So here's the UL. So we could do flex something. What is it? Flex. That was like space. Space around, space between, where is that? Meh, I don't know. So let's not do it that way. Yeah, we'll just do this. Height, width, we can do margin. Margin of probably 0.25 rem. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. Think that looks good, huh? Flex padding 0, margin bottom 0 on the UL. So we come over here to this element OP, margin bottom 0. Voila. I think that's it. Swag, socials, and contact links. Let's do an email. Let's do an email one. See if this bad boy can detect email. Probably at the very bottom there. What's my email going to be? John@laterally.io. Need to do mail too. Bam, and it changed over. So good. So good. Don't want to do Discord. I think I got a permanent invite Discord. Let's also do Discord. Why not? Where is the link? I forgot how to create a link. I think I might be dumb. General create invite. Server. Yeah. This link will never expire. Good, I think this is the one. Let's make sure this works. Join laterally. Okay, cool. Cool. So this will be so good. So good. Love it. All right, cool. I don't want to put my Facebook on there. Is there any of the others? Google Plus, does that still exist? I don't use it. All right, cool. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. I think that's going to do it. And I'll be publishing, I guess, let me go ahead and publish this so we can see it working. And then this will be my new TikTok bio link. So this will be feet, socials. For deploy, want to npm run deploy. So we'll run that. And then while we're doing that, we'll go over to the GitHub and we really do need to make it mobile friendly if it's going to be my my TikTok bio, right? So this, we'll go to settings and we will enable GitHub pages. Error, do not use the A tag to navigate to portfolio. Because it's an internal. Yeah, sorry about that. My bad. Let's see if that looks good. If I have to use a div there. It does look good, but we need to give it a cursor pointer. Think it looks good. Cool. So what's the change here? The change is link compile fix. Try to run deploy. We're going to want to pick the GH pages branch. Should publish the branch here momentarily. There you go. GitHub already knew. GitHub already knew. Cool. I think it's going to take it a second. It's ready to be published. So we already successfully published. I'm going to wait till it turns green. There you go, it's green. Oh, it's so bad. It's so busted. Why is it so busted? Yes, it is so busted because my npm or my next.js config. Cool. So next config, basic next.js portfolio. This is what we need to change, not John's link tree, it should say. Let's go ahead and Control-Shift-S next. Anytime we see basic-next in not John's link tree, try and deploy one more time. No, let's not even do that because I need to. I guess the order doesn't really matter, does it? We can go ahead and try that. I can deploy it, make sure it works, and then commit it. That's pretty backwards. You would typically want to, well, you'd want to test it, but I don't really do testing because this is a personal project, so that's the difference there, isn't it? gotta wait for this to rebuild. I think it takes something like 20 seconds. It's usually pretty snappy. Cool, so here is not John's link tree. Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, we can go ahead and commit. That makes sense. So this should be fix, build, or like asset prefix. Asset out location.
Do you want food or is it too late?
I'll still eat. I'll be out there in about 5.
Alright.
There you go. Looks good. TikTok is not secure. Why is there a period at the end of the word TikTok? Oh no, I did that to myself, didn't I? Well, good thing we do some functional testing, huh? So let's close that. Cool. I mean, pretty much all the other ones are working, other than the TikTok. So there you go. Now it's available publicly at this URL. You can go there and check it out. Thanks for being here. I will obviously push and deploy the TikTok fix, and then set this as my TikTok bio here pretty soon. See you later.